The Indian caste system, the reality. My name is Kavitha Krishnan. I would like to talk more about the Indian caste system. The Indian caste system, Varnashra Dharma, is ordered hierarchically with Brahmins at the top and the Sudras at the bottom. Untouchable, also known as a Dalit, who falls completely out of the caste system altogether. Few hundred years ago, we did not have the system called the different caste system. So what happens few hundred years was, there was a group of Jewish people who migrated to India. During the journey, they have lost most of their women in their group. So when these people, the Jewish people, when they arrived in India, there was only men. These men went to the local villages in India and they tried to connect with the local people and try to see how they can keep their livelihood from there. The days passed by. These Jewish people, they tried to communicate with the women and they tried to marry them. Unfortunately, in the Indian culture, if you want to marry another Indian woman, you have to perform several activities and you should be the winner of such activities. But the people who migrated from the other places, they did not have enough strength to participate in such huge events and gain the trophies. So what they have done is use their mind to divide people based on their intelligence, and they have come up with a new theory called Varnasrama. Okay, what is Varnasrama? This is their fake logic created by these Jewish people, claiming themselves as the highest people, so-called Brahmins at this point of time in the modern India. They started to create a new story called there was a god named as Brahma who is responsible for creating the humans in the planet. So they claim to say there are 4 different types of people. The first group of people are called Brahmins. They are the teachers and priests who has been created from the head of Brahma. That's why they have the first class people. And the second class, which is called the warriors and the leaders, they have come from the shoulder of the Lord Brahma. And the third class of people are the merchants and the traders and mostly the farmers who has come from the knees of Brahma. And the fourth people are called the Sudras, who are the manual workers and laborers, and they also divided the untouchable people who's not even part of any of this Brahma's creation. They are totally untouchable and they are called the Dalit people of India at this moment. So the Jewish people renamed themselves to Brahmins, and they themselves declared they are the highest people of this planet. This declaration went on and on and on for a couple of years, and people started to believe them because these Brahmin people, they are very good at convincing other people with their false ideas and fake conspiracy theories. And after a couple of years, the people started to believe there are many different types of gods, as we see now in the Hinduism. We see there are thousands of gods, which was not there before these Jewish people come to India. These Brahmins also claimed themselves as the most intelligent people since they have come from the head of Lord Brahma. This is how they bypass participating in the marriage qualification rounds, and they straight away went and married some of the Indian women. The irony here is they haven't accepted the women as Brahmins. They still started to say these women are The Sudras, which is the bottom level people, they never consider women as equal as them. The people who suffered most because of these Brahmins divisions are these people of Dalit. There are more than 50% of the people who fall under this category. These people are allowed to work only in the drainages and cleaning them and cleaning the streets, and this is their only primary job. And it continues till today in 2020. After the Indian independence from the British people in 1947 and 1950s, India started to draft an Indian constitution, which has been written as a draft by one of the people who's Dalit and who has been studied in higher schools with his help of his teacher, who has given his caste name to him so that he will get a chance to go on study in different higher institutes. Now you will also understand that the people from the Dalit have not given any opportunity to study or to improve their lifestyle. So the guy who know all these kind of issues and who try to help his own people drafted the first Indian constitution, the supreme law. Dr. Ambedkar always wants people to have equality, so he created a system that will provide an opportunity for the people from the very, very lower level, including the Dalit people, to gain an opportunity to go to the schools. There are many people in India who has been completely benefited from this idea of Dr. Ambedkar, and I'm one among them. If there was no Ambedkar, I would have never got an opportunity to go to school. I would have still classified as a Dalit and been working in some drainage. So from 1950s to 2020, people might believe that, okay, this system is gone and people are treated equally and people got this education Dr. Ambedkar wanted the entire population to have. But in reality, the caste system still exists like a virus. The people from the lower caste are completely disrespected by this higher class. Even in 2020, people who live in slums are only Dalit and the lower caste people. There are no Brahmin who's living in the slum. So now you can clearly see the division. They have been not treated equally in the society in any means. There are few people who got good education, went to good colleges and degrees, and they started to have a good job in the society, but still they have been not accepted by the society, saying their caste, okay, you have come from this caste, then you must be respectable very less. Let's also see what is the current stage of the people who are from this Dalit category and what kind of life they are leading to. They still work in the drainages, they are still cleaning the toilet, and they have been not provided any equipments to save themselves from any kind of harmful environment while cleaning and removing deadly and dirty drainage systems. There are still people in the community removing the drainages and the garbages by their empty hands. These people has been completely abused by this higher caste people and who are in the higher level in the society, and they really don't care about the safety of such garbage collectors and drainage cleaners. The so-called the higher caste and the Brahmins created their conservative group called this orange saffron flag RSS, which is sort of a very violent group which is still promoting their ideology about the Lord Brahma, and people come from the different parts of the body, and they have to still be working on the lower jobs, and they still should be in the higher jobs. So this kind of discrimination still exists in 2020. This RSS group is completely a male-dominant group who is completely involved in all such violence against women and violence even in their talks. Every side you look, they discriminate women in every little aspect. This is a recent story in 2020. They've been abusing and talking bad comments about the Saudi women. And as a result, the government of Saudi Arabia itself announced these people that they are going to evacuate many Indians because of this bad behavior towards women. There are many times I have been threatened by these RSS group members because they, according to their Sanadana and the Varnasrama Dharma, I don't really fall under any of their categories, so they are threatened me a couple of times to shoot me down. How somebody can do that without the support from the government? Yes, of course, you heard it right. The current ruling party, the current government, which is completely funded and supported by this RSS group. There is another irony you must notice here in India. All of the higher position is being occupied by this higher society people who claim themselves as a first-class citizens of India, who themselves are migrant from other places. And why we don't hear this in the media, and why we don't listen anything about these kind of stories in outside India? It's just because the very intelligent RSS group has been also initiated the Digital India with the current Prime Minister. So the Digital India campaign is all about creating all the good things about the Hinduism and their concept and their Sanadana, Dharmas, Varnashrama, all these kind of different concept, the fake ideas they still carry themselves as a pride. Even if there isn't media try to expose these things, they have been threatened or they have to lose their job. All we say right now is only the propaganda created by the current government along with this RSS. So, we really don't hear the real story outside the India or even within the India. The people will not know what's really going on for these lower class communities and the other people who suffer from this higher level of completely a fascist group. They occupied the higher positions in the society, higher jobs. They are in the military, they are in the government sector, so the people who are in the lower level do not have their voice heard in any point of time because everything is being controlled and manipulated by this higher group of people. You will never listen anything bad about this Hindu conservative RSS group. Where all these things are leading to? We are leading to almost 300-400 years behind in the history. In my personal experience, I had a threat and a sort of a domestic abuse from one of the higher class member, and I went and complained this to the police, and they refused to take my case or file an FIR on this a particular person since they come from a higher society and he's a high class, almost equal to the Brahmins. I spent almost an year of time trying to get my case registered against this person. All the Indian departments has been corrupted in the way that if you want your things to be done, you must be given a bribe to them in order for them to do their own job. This is the current India. It's fully fascist, RSS controlled fake media news. There have been thousands of digital workers who write articles about these Hindu groups says India is doing very well and there is no problem at all, and they even have a contract with the social media groups where partage all the information which is being given by other lower caste or low-level people. We do not have any voice here. Even though we shout, our voices are unheard. We are totally living in an undemocracy world. There is no equality when there is one group of people who's controlling the government, media, authorities, etc. This is the real reality of the Indian caste system. And thank you for listening.